Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, comrades and friends, we have an absolutely diabolical news story for you here today. So Donald Trump sent some very threatening messages over to the Prime Minister of Norway, and this was actually confirmed by the Norwegian government here. And we have a letter just kind of summarizing things. It wasn't written in an official letter; it was actually written through text messages, but it's concerning nonetheless, and actually scary as fuck. And so, basically, I'm going to read it out to you guys, and we'll talk about it a little bit here. So Trump starts off. He says, "Dear Jonas, considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize for having stopped 8 wars plus, I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace, although it will always be predominant, but can now think about what is good and proper for the United States of America. Denmark cannot protect that land from Russia or China, and why do they have a, quote, right of ownership anyways? There are no written documents. It's only that a boat landed there hundreds of years ago, but we had boats landing there also. I have done more for NATO than any other person since its founding. And now NATO should do something for the United States. The world is not secure unless we have complete and total control over Greenland. Thank you, President Donald J. Trump." Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, we are literally so fucked. We are so fucked. This dude is just throwing world peace out the window. He doesn't care anymore. He's saying, I'm going full imperialist and I'm doubling down on this, right? And you can tell, like, he actually legitimately feels aggrieved that he couldn't get the Nobel Peace Prize awarded to him, because obviously the Nobel Peace Prize committee came out and they're like, yeah, bro, like, you can't just like dedicate your prize to somebody and like, now all of a sudden, like, they can't claim that they have a Nobel Peace Prize. That's not how it works, right? And so he's obviously pissed off, right? He was already mad to begin with, but now he's even more pissed off. And basically, he's doubling down on this anger, and he's trying to take it out here on Greenland, Denmark, and Norway, and it's really bad here. And so, a couple things that I think they're just like very catching to me. It's like very, very striking. Is the first one here is he says he stopped 8 wars plus. It's like, bro, what wars exactly are you talking about here, man? It's like, this is like straight out of 1984. It's like, oh my God, we got to stop the wars. We got to do this. We got to all hands down, all hands down. And it just feels like constant, like, oh yeah, like I'm your savior. I did this for you. But in reality, there's really nothing going on, or at least nothing that we can tell anyways. And certainly they're not being transparent with us. I mean, we can't even get, files about a goddamn pedophile here. But, you think they're going to be honest about wars and what's going on behind the scenes where these people are making billions of dollars through the military industrial complex? Like, yeah, I don't think that they're going to be honest, not a single bit. But through the policies, we can sometimes get a little bit of info, or, when things are declassified, or we get some leaks and whatnot. But it's really, really bad here. So 8 plus wars, I'm very curious to see what he's talking about here. Is that like, for example, when he said, like, oh yeah, like we averted a war, when we pulled out of the Iran deal. It's like, wait a minute, bro. Things were perfectly peaceful and they were completely under IAEA inspections and in full compliance, and then all of a sudden you're going to say like you saved the day. It's like, well, no, you actually caused tensions there when you fucking bombed an Iranian general, and then you also, in addition to that, decide that it probably makes a lot of sense to go bomb literal nuclear sites. Like, yeah, like okay, like, yeah, total crisis was totally averted there, bro. As if that literally didn't put us on the brink of war. And it's actually mind blowing. Because if I was the head of a sovereign state, I would have instantly attacked America as a result of that, right? Because I mean, what, are you just gonna put up with that? Are you kidding me? You're gonna let a country bomb your nuclear sites with complete immunity? I don't know. I mean, it seems a little weird to me. But having said that, somehow we averted this crisis, probably because we're so massive and so powerful that we were just able to skirt by. But we avert that crisis. So I'm very curious to see, like, what 8 plus wars is he talking about here? Like, I don't have a bloody clue what the hell he's talking about. I mean, this dude started more wars than he's ever ended. And not like he's even ended wars at all. But and don't you dare say Israel Palestine. I know some of y'all will say that. That's not even fucking remotely true. So I mean, like, there's been what, like 10,000 ceasefires in the past, like, 80 years. Yeah. So okay, yeah, like he ended the war. Okay. Yeah. People just forget. Okay. I saw a good clip the other day. I can't even remember where this was from, but it was like, all right, imagine this: you are a soldier, right? And you got 5 insurgents, and you killed them. Right now, how many insurgents do you have? Because let's say there were 5 insurgents, and you kill those 5. Do you think the threat's over? It's like, well, fuck no, dude. Like, you just made 20 more insurgents, because now that they have friends and allies and people who really cared about them that you just blew up. Right. So, I mean, these things don't really end. These is like guerrilla type warfare here in a lot of ways, but really bad. Like, this is horrible. And so anyways, so that's the first thing that I found was relatively alarming. The second thing is this guy saying that he has like this right to ownership here. And he says like there's no written documents. Like our boats landed there as well. It's like our boats landed hundreds of years ago. First of all, when the hell did this happen? Like, first of all, we barely scraped by as a country, right? Like, I'm a historian. Like, we barely scraped by as a country for many, many years. In fact, it's only by pure accident the United States is a country. I mean, we got our ass kicked in the Revolution. I mean, there was no winning. If Great Britain wanted us gone, like we were gone. You know, they could have just fought that forever, but they were just losing money. And they're like, it's not worth the hassle. And the same with the War of 1812. They're like, it's not worth the hassle. But they could have technically fought us, practically forever. They were just more worried about Napoleon over there in Europe than us, and so I don't know. Like, I just think that that's a little bit insane. And then you're gonna say, okay, well, like just because we found it hundreds of years ago, does that give us a right to it? And so you say, okay, well, so I get it. Then the Native Americans can say, all right, well, this is our land now. It's like, well, no, you know what I'm saying? So this doesn't work that way in many regards. So I mean, you can't, you can't have your cake and then eat it too, right? Isn't that the saying? Because look. Either the people who were there decide that the land is theirs, or you could say the most powerful country decides that it's theirs. Now, historically, obviously, it's the most powerful country, but you can see the contradiction in his letter there. At least I certainly do, and it's something that I just find relatively hilarious, especially since the United States is like only 250 years old now, around there. 250 years old. This year, actually, I suppose, is 250 years old, which is kind of mind blowing. Although I would kind of argue 251 years old, because I always like to say that the revolution, like the Declaration of Independence to me, like the revolution started in 1775, right? So I'm like, well, I like to say 251. But anyways, guys, I don't know, the moot point here. With that said, though, very, very bad, and I don't think he's going to stop. Obviously, he put tariffs on Greenland, and a lot of the European countries here said 10%, and it's going to go up to 25%, I believe, by June, if I remember correctly. So very, very bad. You got troops being sent over to Greenland right now through Denmark. The EU is preparing for war, and I imagine it's probably going to get there. I can't imagine he's going to back down as a result of this. And the EU is even looking at measures right now to try to get us back in line, I guess you could say. But I think that we're like a rogue actor here. I can't imagine that this is going to work out well for anybody. I imagine the state of the economy is going to get pretty bad here in the future. I mean, if it's already horrible. Obviously, this is one of the worst economic states we've had since the 2009 financial crisis. But even worse than that, it starts to look like we might be on track for like a depression. I mean, I don't know, and maybe I'm just crazy here, but I don't know in what world people can see $94 an ounce silver and then just pretend that things are okay, because it's not okay. But they'll try to lie, and they'll tell you that it's okay, even though it's not. And so, I don't know. I'm just very curious to see where the wind will take us here. But if you guys did enjoy the video here, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for some more content. And ladies and gentlemen, peace.